It has been a while, so does anybody have a quick God wink breadcrumb treasure they picked up along this past weekend? Anything we have to throw out there real quick? Oh, it's 7:10. Hold that thought. We will be back at the end of the hour, and we can share that together. So thank you guys. We will see you. Maybe I'll be able to hop on from the car.
And any God winks, what all the words that Sister B uses, anything on your mind this morning that we can chat about here as we end our faith hour?
I feel like I should have a God wink. So many good things are happening.
Well, maybe something will come to mind here as Tammy's back with us. Tammy, how was your hour?
It was good. It was productive.
Good.
I got everything done.
All right. Well, as we mastermind this hour, we are thinking about anything for our faith hour, anything that comes to mind. My mind just went blank.
So I
Lay it on us, Brenda.
Little winky wink here. So Sunday's Bible verse in church was talking about how we did not choose God, God chose us.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my class yesterday, it was the last class of my leadership class, and that was the closing verse as well. And I was like, oh my goodness, like honestly, Brenda. So I would like to share that with you today because I really feel it's really comforting to know. So it's John 15, chapter 16, or chapter 15, verse 16. And it's, you did not choose me, I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. This is my command, love each other. And I was John 15, verse 16. So I was like, oh my gosh. So it, literally in 3 days, it's repeated as an affirmation. And I was just really thinking about like how that's such a true statement that, you know, he has chosen us and he's chosen us to do a certain purpose. And we have to keep that in mind and we have to focus on that. So I feel like it's not a coincidence that it's shared twice in the same week.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. I definitely agree that when we need to hear something like that, it comes up time and time again, and we hear it and see it in all those different places. So I'd love to see how that, or hear about how that continues to play out for you in your week and the days to come.
I think it's so, what really comes to me too, Brenda, is I know your study of, you know, Think and Grow Rich. And just, and all, you know, that it's so aligned. I feel like almost every quote that is out there can be backed by a Bible verse.
Oh yeah.
And so often it's like we're coming up with new ways to say the same thing that has always been true.
Mhm.
So that just always intrigues me that, I mean, pretty much any leadership book, any, there's a base for it in the Bible, which is pretty amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, Mr. Ziegler himself, like probably 90% of his quotes are all Bible verses. It's just he doesn't add the where it is in the Bible. So
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah. God winks. Trying to think of any other God winks.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I feel like there's something else that needs to be said, so I don't want to say anything.
I know. There is something just right under the surface for me, and I'm not sure what it is, but um, hmm.
I can share something. And this is pretty personal, but even this morning as I'm driving to work, I pass a couple churches and I haven't gone to church in quite some time. And not that that's a need, but from a personal place, it's something that I've begun to consider more and more over the last year. And a lot of it's been the positive influence from all of you, and that maybe I return. But Brenda, what you've shared with me puts in perspective that it's not so much that I'm choosing to go to church, but maybe this is something that I need to kind of open myself up to, that it's not so much one-sided, that I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I need to probably embrace that, not an expectation, but there's two ways to look at this that I can give back, and I need to be more appreciative. And maybe that's the place to go. I don't know.
It might be his way of just putting a little nudge in you to go listen to some things that he has to say.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
And there's as many churches out there as there are personalities. It's one of those things in finding the right fit. So, when and if you feel it's the time to try, you keep looking around, and when I always tell people that you get people that say, oh, you go to one church and stick with it. Sometimes it's just for a season. There's churches for different seasons of life. There's churches for that you go to, and this is where you belong. And so there's nothing wrong with trying it on for the right fit. That's something that you really have to be open to. And so, when you're ready, give it a shot. But that's my 2 cents on it, but we're a minute over. So I'm going to stop the recording here.